Hey guys, it's Mike with Become the Night. Welcome to this is not Song Suggestion Friday. Hey guys, it's Mike with Become the Night. Welcome to another reaction video to a Fine Brothers thing. I kind of chose this for a couple of reasons. One, because I had a bunch of you request it, but also alternatively, I kind of have a special message for you guys at the end of this, so please stick around at the end, and I would like to have a big announcement. So today we are reacting to teens react to, God, it just sounds terrible when I say I'm reacting to someone's reaction. It's kind of one of the reasons why I try to avoid doing the Fine Brothers thing. I mean, even though you guys see value in these videos and I actually do put some good input into it, it's like, man, you're reacting to a reaction. Anyway, today we are reacting to Teens React to Linkin Park, and I'll just preface this by saying that I actually do like Linkin Park's old stuff. I have not listened to the new album except for what they showed on this video. So, yep, spoiler warning. I already watched this video once. And I gotta say, well, let's just wait till the video begins to dive into that. If you're wondering why I'm dressed like this and my hair is a little more slick than usual, I got off work early today, which is also why I have really nice lighting from the sun. The sun is a thing that actually exists in Tennessee. But yeah, I grew up loving Hybrid Theory, didn't listen to as much of Meteora, but from what I listened to it was a very good album. Linkin Park's alright in my book. So let's see what they show these teens. Ooh, it's like edgy and punky because teens are reacting.
I don't like my mind right now. Stacking up.
I don't know who this is.
Alright, knowing that this is Linkin Park in advance, hearing that coming into it, I'm like, oh no. Like, I liked Linkin Park because they were authentic, but they've been doing this thing since they started of just gradually getting less and less metal and more into the electronic pop type of thing. And they just went the whole full tilt pop music. I have a lot to say about this, but I'll get into that later. Let's just say, when I initially saw this, I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
No idea what this is.
I can tell you I already don't know this band.
That's the thing, a lot of these teens didn't even realize that this was Linkin Park. That, obviously, this sounds nothing like Linkin Park. And, I mean, I'll dive more into it in a little bit here, because I have some comments coming up. There's a better place to push this, but obviously, you have a problem when the people listening to your music don't even know it's you.
Okay. This guy looks a little older.
God, yeah, he really does look older. I didn't even realize that before. Damn, he is pushing the years, isn't he?
Is this like an AA meeting?
Oh, okay, he's an alcoholic.
Another thing I'll say too, in this song, Chester has a really good voice. He actually sings very well. Well, I'm sorry, I really just want to jump into this, and I can't yet. There's a perfect place to put it.
It's definitely a very different vibe from their original stuff.
You are not kidding.
Okay, this is good. I like this.
This doesn't sound bad. This actually sounds good.
I like it. The song and the music video work well together.
Alright, so these kids liking it, it's like, okay, like, that's the kind of music you like, that's fine. I think it's kind of simple and mundane, but they feel the passion in it. It's like, alright, whatever. Like, it's not actually a terrible song. And the guy saying that the music video matches the song, I don't know that I agree, but then again, I also don't have the same perspective on that music that kid does. So, I mean, that's a to each his own type of thing, in my opinion. I mean, I think you would be hard to find a large amount of teenagers who wouldn't like this type of music, considering it's the most prevalent crap out nowadays. Oh, I have so much to say about this.
Start liking it, and then I hear the chorus kick in. And there's this really simple drum beat in the background, and I'm like, I could have made this.
Yes, you could have. As a matter of fact, I could have too. As a matter of fact, most people could have, and you're just like, I have a lot to say about this.
I don't know how I feel about this.
It's really become a pop video, and that really bothers me.
Both of them, yes, I am totally with you there, man. Except I know exactly how I feel about this. I'm not totally okay with it. There's a couple of reasons why. I'll get to them later. I'm sorry I keep prolonging this, but those guys have it right, and that's mostly because, from what I understand in this video, they were actually more, I don't want to say hardcore, but definitely bigger fans than the other kids that are reacting to it. They were a lot more into Linkin Park.
Oh god.
Oh, is he fighting himself?
He's literally fighting his demons like himself.
I actually like that part of the music video. I think that's a great visual, especially considering what's happening with the AA thing. As a guy who's been through his own substance abuse problems, that is 100% what it is. It's you're battling against yourself. You have to get self-control and be at peace with yourself, which you're never gonna ever be fully at peace with yourself unless you're like Nirvana, heaven, whatever you wanna call it. But it's a great visual, and I think it was excellently executed. Just my opinion.
No idea who this is, but I feel like once you start playing their old stuff, I might
Oh
get it.
yeah, you will.
What the hell was that?
My thoughts exactly, dude.
I definitely know the song.
It's gonna be
I
very, very
freaking love the song.
I've heard this.
I've definitely listened to this song.
I've heard this song before.
Seriously, this is one of my favorite songs off of that album. You gotta go hard. And another one of those instances where the songwriting and the arrangement of everything perfectly embodies the emotion they're going for. Just this angst and tension that's so extreme. It's like, it makes you feel like a badass, but like not a badass who's under control, like a badass who's just gonna go out there and just mess shit up, you know? Super, super well done. I love this song. And yes, I understand it's absolutely not prog. Well, actually, you know what? In a sense, the fusion of things that's happening and the way that they did it, I think you could maybe make an argument for it, although it's not prog in the traditional sense of actually being music theorically interesting. A large factor in what makes something progressive is fusion, so do remember that. I freaking love Hybrid Theory, by the way. Hybrid Theory is one of my favorite albums from when I was a teenager. I was younger than most of these kids when that album came out, and just seeing them and them being like, man, I love this band. It's like, how old were you guys? How were you allowed to listen to this stuff when you were like 5?
See, this is what I expect from Linkin Park. Not that pop shit that they were popping out.
I love that guy already. I've actually watched other Fine Brothers videos with him in it, and a lot of times I like his thoughts on things. He seems like a chill dude. I forget his name, sorry. Not only that, but he was on the Teens React to Markiplier, and Markiplier gave him a shout out. I was so freaking jealous.
I've heard this song too.
Oh! I know this song.
I imagine this is where everybody was like, oh, this is Linkin Park.
That kid is smart. He's cool.
This song is so dramatic. It's on every 2000 playlist I have.
Yep. As dramatic as that was Linkin Park back in the day, and I guess kind of still if you think about the new song. They were dramatic as hell, they were angsty, and it was good. It was really good. Especially when that's like a primary emotion for almost all teens. I mean, you're gonna suck them right in, and I don't think that was like their intention to do that. I think they honestly were trying to be genuine. I really, really want to say what I want to say about this so bad.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is very 2000s with like the cheap graphics that like wouldn't pass now.
Oh, if you think that's bad, you should watch Babylon 5. All right, I don't even consider it a guilty pleasure. I don't feel guilty about it whatsoever, but Babylon 5, absolutely love that show. That show is damn good sci-fi. It's from the early, if you want to see some bad special effects, whew, this is Transformers quality compared to Babylon 5.
This is probably like a top 10 like alternative bands like ever.
See, I wouldn't classify them as alternative. I would put them more in a new metal type of thing. I guess with their new change, I guess you have to put them in alternative. This was the first Linkin Park song I ever listened to. This is probably my favorite song by them.
I think that's my favorite 90s hairstyle is just like the multiple unicorn horns.
That's affectionately referred to as the Nazi Darth Maul.
No, I don't listen to these songs often, but sometimes I feel like I just don't appreciate them enough.
Hey girl, there's always time to go back to the past, to play some shitty songs that suck ass. I'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in my ear. I'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a road-killed skunk and then down it with whiskey. God damn it. This is where the similarities end between me and the angry video game nerd.
You could tell, like, as the music videos go on, you could, like, hear the difference and the change in their style.
That is 100% true. You could hear a very definite change in their style, and it was kind of worrying me a little bit at the time. The way things were moving, I almost expected them to either go full on just like electronic rock, or worst case scenario was what we just listened to at the beginning of this video. Holy cow, that was a complete 180. Well, I guess technically not a complete 180 because they had electronic music as a fusion in there before, like with the DJing and stuff and the sampling, but like, oh my gosh, man. And I definitely am not trying to talk any shit on Linkin Park in this video. I actually do like them. I respect them as artists. And not only that, but I've seen Chester, their singer, out there talking some smack on the mainstream music industry, saying like, yeah, this is not a good system for musicians to be profit or even secure in, but profitable in. This is geared towards making the record labels rich. So he's one of the guys that's on our side.
Linkin Park made good music. I'm actually really impressed.
Yeah, they made great freaking music, man. No two ways about it.
Oh, he's got such a powerful voice. I love it so much.
Yeah, he does have a very powerful voice, I gotta say. And I wish I knew how he got that like just right kind of rasp in his voice to where it was like still musical, but not like completely clean like he does in this friggin' pop shit that they're doing now. And not that I dislike his voice in that, I just dislike the overall product that came together as a result of it.
This song was on Transformers.
This is the song where they dropped the heavy distortion, and I listened to it and I was like, this is Linkin, but this is not quite Linkin Park. Where's the freaking shut up when I'm talking to you, like the beefy fat guitar tones? Like what happened, man? And this is the song where I was like, this is a good song, but you're almost not Linkin Park anymore. And they with this new album, they just pushed it to the point where I'll get to it.
This is a Transformers theme song. This is the one that I just heard 1,000 times as a kid.
Yeah, and it's a terrible movie, just saying. Sorry, I can't zoom in on it because it's too far away, but that hair on him, oh my freaking goodness.
A lot of their music is sort of the same, and there's just something just kind of cringy about it, but I think it's just because everyone else hates on them, so I feel like I need to.
She has kind of a good point. A lot of their songs do sound the same, and that's one of the reasons why I dropped off from them, because, I mean, it's good, infectious music. It's certainly not the most, the best word I can come up with is musically diverse. They all kind of sound the same. Like, Hybrid Theory actually had a lot of songs on there that were quite different, especially Mr. Hall. Freaking loved that track where the DJ just rips it out and just freaking goes hog wild. That was awesome. But yeah, a lot of their stuff started to sound the same, and it just really lost a lot of its punch when you're always doing that same soaring melody line that kind of has similar notes to the last big hit you had, you know? And it is a little cringy because back then we thought that stuff was like so cutting edge and so amazing. And then for us metalheads, you grow up and you're like, wow, this was not even remotely metal. I guess in a sense, I could count Linkin Park as a guilty pleasure.
They were always was like overplayed on like a lot of the alternative like radio stations. So it was just sort of forced down your throat.
And yeah, I'll definitely have to agree with her there. They definitely got overplayed. And I think that's one of the reasons why they became kind of like this guilty pleasure slash, oh, you like Linkin Park? Oh, you're one of those kids who likes Linkin Park. Which even I, for a little bit in my late teens, early 20s, was kind of like very condescending towards people who were still in love with Linkin Park.
The first song we played you is their latest single, and there's been a decent amount of backlash from their fans. Some saying that the song sounds too poppy, that they don't even really scream sing in the song like they used to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's their only complaint? Oh my gosh, they deserve a backlash from their fans. They absolutely do. And it's not because it's a bad song. It's not because the artist shouldn't be able to do what they want to do. I understand that you're an artist. Do what comes to you. Do what's natural. Like, make good stuff. And I would not say that what they put out was terrible. But as a fan, you're thinking, oh, this is a Linkin Park album. You put it on, and it sounds not like Linkin Park. Part of you almost feels like you're ripped off. That's step one of what I've wanted to say for the last 20 minutes.
Good, it was just different. I don't think just because it's different, you should hate on it.
The kid has an inherently good broad point that just because something is different does not mean you should necessarily hate it. But there is a much more important underlying tone as to why I'm not okay with this.
There's fans that's been around for 2 decades with them, rolling with them. And then when they just come out with this, it's like, this ain't Linkin Park.
Hey, she gets it. And she's not even that big of a fan of Linkin Park.
Their newest song is sort of like a sellout in a sense, just because it's like, oh, let's do what's trendy now, and let's bring in like a female pop singer, and then we'll make everything more mellow now instead of like 90s angst, because that's not in anymore.
And here's the thing. I can totally see this coming across as a sellout. I really don't think it was. If there's one thing that I've noticed about Linkin Park is, yeah, they definitely fall into the more popular side of things. I feel like they kind of follow trends, but at the same time, I could never see them fully going pop out just out of trendiness. They don't have to. You ready to watch this magic? Whiskey, fill yourself. Boom. Sorry, anyway, continuing on that train of thought. Yeah, there's plenty of guys from the 90s who are making a living off of all of their hits from the 90s and aren't really played on radio or trying to push themselves to be popular and changing their sound. All they did was made it in the 90s and they're living off of it, and they're still playing shows regularly because people love the stuff from the 90s. Linkin Park could have totally done that as like an early 2000s type of thing, like along the lines of like a Sum 41 or like, I don't even remember a lot of the bands from that time. It's kind of embarrassing. But they don't strike me as the type of band that needs to go out and be famous for the sake of being famous, especially Chester. Chester's a smart guy. Like, he could try and do that if he wanted to, but just from listening to him, and especially him talking about the industry and how the business model is basically geared towards making the record labels rich. I mean, like, he's on our side. He doesn't seem like an egomaniac freak who's just trying to be famous for the sake of it. But then when it comes down to brass tacks, you're the guys that made Crawling. You're the guys that made One Step Closer. What the hell is this? Where's the beefy guitar? Where's the actual, like, really good samples, not just something plugged in on a MIDI track? What happened to Mr. Hahn? I'm sure there's actually a story behind that. I have not kept up with Linkin Park, so feel free to tell me how wrong I am in the comments below.
Bands evolve, so fans kind of have to like suck it up.
There's so many fans of musicians where it's, if they don't do the one thing they're known for in the one category, in the one genre, in the one subgenre, then they hate it. And I don't think they understand how music works, because you're supposed to change it
Okay, here's the thing. Again, with these teens, they have the broad overarching point correct. As a person who is, as a singular person who is an artist, you change things up as you go. You evolve as a person, therefore the stuff that you use to express yourself will change. That is completely natural, that is completely understandable, and no one should be thrown shade just because they're doing something else that also is therapeutic to them. Here's the difference though. Linkin Park was not an artist in a sense because they were a group of people, And more than being recognized for a bunch of guys who made music, they were a brand. Part of that brand was angst, but another part of that brand was their sound, which they definitely kept real consistent for a long time there. And the album that they did for during the Transformers movie period, I mean, that was pushing it a little bit further away than what I was comfortable with, but it still was their sound, so it was like, okay. I would kind of compare that to like Metallica's Load and Reload. Like, those definitely were not old school Metallica or even what you'd consider modern Metallica, but it still had a distinct Metallica flavor. You have now thrown out just about everything that made you Linkin Park. You have taken away the raspiness from the singing. You have replaced real drums with synthetic drums. You have, what I heard on that song, no guitars. And as far as I can tell, no DJ either. So how are you still Linkin Park, and how are you not just Chester sings to a beat? Is this something that should be ridiculed? I mean, maybe. I'm not going to be the one to ridicule it right now. But what I think needs to happen is a little bit of self-awareness of, you built a brand of Linkin Park. We want fat guitars. We want real drums. We don't want pop music. If we wanted pop music, we wouldn't have gone to Linkin Park. Now, if the guys from Linkin Park, if every one of them collectively decided, we want to do pop music, then what you do is make it a different brand. Instead of calling it Linkin Park, call it something else. Call it, I don't know, Mysteria, friggin' some weird name, anything that's not Linkin Park, literally anything. That way it's like, oh, the guys from Linkin Park present this, whatever this new project is, and you're like, oh, okay, it's the guys from Linkin Park. I know them, I like them, I'm gonna try and go along with it. And either you like it or you don't, and that's fine. And considering the type of stuff that they're doing, and considering the teens' reactions to it, like, it's guaranteed they're gonna find new fans that they wouldn't have had before. But to call that kind of product Linkin Park, I feel like, is disingenuous, and I know that this band is not a disingenuous band. At least that's my belief, rather. So that's why people are friggin' mad. They looked at you guys as being genuine, and then you sell this to them, and just on the surface, really does not look good. So that's the major distinction I would draw. If they were the same guys and just released it under a different name, I would be like, okay, it's a different project. They are preparing the audience to know, hey, this is not Linkin Park. But then they release it under the same name, and it's almost like they're using the name and brand recognition of their old stuff and saying, no, the old stuff wasn't good enough. You really want to listen to this. This is our new good stuff. It's kind of accidentally condescending to your audience, so you will get a backlash. Hence, Metallica. So my prediction as to what will happen to Linkin Park, this and whatever next album they put out that will also be poppy as hell, because they're like, ah, no, we're doing us, man. They'll throw that out and they'll get a lot of shade for it. They'll probably bring on some people who would have never listened to Linkin Park otherwise. And then they'll come to some kind of reconciliation where they're like, man, you know, our fans really want our old sound like we used to have, kind of like Metallica. And then they will put out their Death Magnetic album, whatever that may be, but it'll be so many years behind what the trends are that it will be basically pointless at this point. So again, I'm not trying to throw any hate at Linkin Park for this. I mean, if you guys want to do it, frickin' do your thing. And also, I don't know the full story. I still don't know who the hell's in the band. But realize there are some very understandable reasons why your fans might not be too happy with you. And to be honest, on the surface, I'm giving you guys the benefit of the freaking doubt on this, because this looks really bad. Anyway, those are my thoughts. But wait, there's more. So I told you guys at the beginning of the video, I had a major announcement. I've been trying to do this for probably about a month now, and I'm finally getting around to doing it. I have launched my Patreon page. Oh, sorry, wait.
I have launched my Patreon page.
I've really been trying for a while to get some actual money out of doing YouTube and doing music, and this is absolutely the first step I need to take to really step outside of that. And this content will not be paid for content. This will all still be free to you. Understand that. But by opening up a Patreon, this gives you guys a way of supporting me and helping me make more and better content for you. So for those of you who don't know what Patreon is a monthly subscription, but not really a subscription. It's more of a monthly pledge for you guys to say, hey, I'll give X amount of dollars a month. And then I say, great, I can put this towards making you guys better content. The more money I have coming in from my passion, my love, which is music and slash YouTube, the more I can justify putting my time towards it. To give you guys an idea, my first goal is $100 a month. With $100 a month, I will go and I will buy better lighting so that my videos will look better. At $300 a month, I will get an actual really nice camera, a very nice camera, so that my videos will actually look like nice picture quality. Not only that, when you pledge that money per month, you actually get more than just watching my videos out of it. You guys get to vote for what songs you want to listen to on Song Suggestion Friday, which I know for a number of you is a pretty big deal. You guys actually get to talk to me one-on-one, like either through a short message system, or there's actually a tier for on video. We get to do Skype call. Not to mention, for those of you with lots of money and really poor judgment, at $100 a month, I will offer you a ton of things, as well as my mixing and mastering services. So for those of you who are aspiring musicians and or aspiring bands, if that's something you would be interested in, $100 a month. Compare that to any rate that someone would charge for mixing and mastering. That's pretty damn good. So guys, please go to the link in the description, check out my Patreon page. Please, if you could pledge some money, that would be amazing. This is literally the thing that's going to help me make better content for you in the future. And if you can't pledge monthly, I have set up a PayPal account for one-time donations. If you send money to one word, becomethenight@gmail.com, I will absolutely receive it, and I will be stupidly grateful for you guys. And hey guys, just a really quick addition, because I forgot, because I was so excited and nervous telling you guys about this. If we can get to $50 by this Saturday, which is March 18th, if we can get to $50 by then, I will do another Fine Brothers video that you guys get to vote on, and only patrons can vote on. If we make it to that goal, I will add another goal, and whatever you guys want, I'll try to make it happen. If you can't right now because either you're too young or you just can't afford it, trust me, I understand, and you're still welcome on the channel. You're still a friendly face. Thank you for just coming and viewing. I do appreciate that as well. I feel like I can hear the voice of old Ben Kenobi right now. You've taken your first step into a larger world. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video. Rock on!